Hi everyone! My name is Raquel May Arbasa of Pasay City West High School, and I will be your virtual teacher for today. Our topic is all about modals. So at the end of the lesson for today, you are expected to use modals appropriately. So are you ready to study with me? Let's begin. I know you love those K-pop and all those Korean singing groups, right? But I couldn't find lyrics that I could use from their songs. So I'm not as old as Heels, and I know for sure you know the following singers that I will mention for today. Okay? So let me ask a question about them. So what do Bob Marley, Ed Sheeran, and Beverly Knight have in common? No idea at all? Take a look at the following lyrics. When Bob Marley sang the song, Could You Be Loved and Be Loved? And when Ed Sheeran sang Thinking Out Loud with the lyrics, Cause honey, your soul can never grow old, it's evergreen. And when Beverly Knight sang Shoulda, Woulda, Coulda, they were actually using modals. You heard it right. Modals are not just in some of our favorite songs, they are all around us. So what is a modal? Modal is a kind of auxiliary verb or helping verb that is used to express necessity, request, or permission. There are a lot of modals actually. Aside from what I mentioned earlier, there are also modals that express possibility, impossibility, probability. We also have modals for prohibition and expectation. A lot to take in, right? But don't worry. We will discuss them today one by one for you to easily understand these modals. And I am 100% sure at the end of our lesson today, you will be able to use these modals appropriately. Let's begin with our first modals. Must, need to, and have to are modals that express necessity. And that means something is not optional, it is a necessity or obligatory. So among these three modals, the most serious one is the word must. And it is also the most common in writing. So here are some examples. They must leave immediately. You need to do the exercise. It's obligatory. They have to regularly comfort the dog during storms. Does not have to, do not have to, must not, cannot, and need not to are modals expressing lack of necessity. Lack of necessity is another word for lack of obligation. And that means something is not really that necessary. Here are our examples. You don't have to write long essays. She doesn't have to bring foods. Students mustn't leave before the test ends. You need not trouble about that. Can and could are both modals expressing a permission or a request. Could is more polite than can, and it is used for more formal situations. We also use would whenever we offer to do something to people or to invite them to do something. Here are some examples. Can I have some cookies? Could I have your attention, sir? Would you like to order, ma'am? May is also a modal that is used when asking for a permission. Here are some examples. May I have this dance? May I make an appointment for Tuesday? We are done with the first part of our lesson. But before we proceed to the second part of our discussion, let's have a recap. When do we use modals that express necessity? When do we use modals that express lack of necessity? And when do we use modals asking for a permission and request. So remember, we use modals such as must, need to, and have to when we want to express something that is really necessary and not optional. So that means it is obligatory. We use modals such as does not have to, do not have to, must not, cannot, and need not to whenever we want to express something that is lacking of obligation or lack of necessity. And don't forget, we also use the word can, could, would, and may whenever we want to ask for a permission or request. So, are you ready for more? I hope so. So, let's begin the second part of our discussion. So, the next part of our discussion is all about the following modals. Modals that express possibility, impossibility, probability, prohibition, and expectation. May, might, and could are modals that we use to express possibility and probability. So that means you are describing a possible action. So these modals are often used in the future, although there are times that we want to express action in the present time. So here are some examples. I may pass the test. I might study math. We could go to the party this afternoon. Our next modals are modals expressing impossibility or prohibition. So these are the modals which are the opposite of modals expressing possibility. So we have here the word may, might, could, and must. You just have to add the word not. The word can is also a part of this modal. So here are some examples. Flowers may not be picked. Mark might not be in the office tomorrow. He thinks he's getting a flu. She could not say the reason for leaving her job. You must not reveal where you get the information. You can't be 30. I thought you were only 20 years old. Our last modals are modals of expectation. So when you are expecting something but you are not 100% sure, use should and shouldn't to represent the expectation. So here are some examples. Aris has an exam. He shouldn't go out now. So this sentence is referring to a present situation. Next, Alice is starting from home early. She shouldn't be late. This one is referring to a future situation. And last, Tom is a talented singer. He shouldn't have made the mistake. This one refers to a past action or situation. So there you have it, our dear students. We are done with our discussion about modals. But before I end this video, let's have a summary of the second part of our lesson. So when do we use modals that express possibility and probability? When do we use modals that express impossibility or prohibition? And when do we use modals that express expectation? So remember, we use may, might, and could whenever we want to express something that is possible or probable. So that means you are describing a possible action. We use may, might, could, and must. Just add the word not when you want to express something that is impossible to happen or prohibited. We also use the word can for this kind of modal. And lastly, we use the words should and shouldn't if we are expecting something to happen, but we are not 100% sure. Don't forget, our dear students, modal verbs are our flexible friends in the world of English and essential for many situations. And that ends our lesson for today. Did you understand it very well? If not, you may go back to the lesson presented in this module, or you can watch my video again. If today's lesson is very clear to you, congratulations! You may start answering the following activities in this module. So thank you for watching. God bless and stay safe.